Okay, welcome to the lab for this week. It's actually not going to be too bad because you've already done it once. Okay, it's going to be rational numbers again, but this time with class, right? We're going to use classes instead of functions. So, yeah, you're just going to translate what you've already done essentially to a class-based implementation. And I'm going to add on the addition of rational numbers to the requirements, so there's at least some new thing that you're implementing. And we're going to unfortunately remember how much of a pain it is to add two rational numbers. Okay, so you're mostly going to copy and paste everything else except for that add function. All right, so yeah, just get the starter code. Here it is, lab 6. It's got these 3 files. Yeah, so you'll be working in rationals.cpp and test.cpp. Okay, here we go. So yeah, let's look at rationals.h. It's got the declaration of the rational class, and here it is. So yeah, this one is all the rage now, so it's all beautiful. We can initialize our rational numbers with a constructor. It gets an n and it gets a d, and it will initialize the numerator and the denominator of our class to the n and the d. Isn't that nice? So the way it's being used, if I go to the test file maybe, looks like this. So here's how I can make a rational number with the numerator of 2 and the denominator of negative 44. Yeah, that's the idea. So you can just call it like that. Okay, and then everything else is very normal. So we have the toPretty string. Now it's a method, but it used to be a function. You'll just replace all of your stuff. Just copy and paste it all in. And then, to be cool, instead of like multiply, rational multiply, or whatever it was called, we're doing operator star. So we can just say star now. If I go back to the test. Look at that. I have 2 rational numbers. These are brand new types that we're making, and I can just use star to multiply them together because of the beauty of operator overloading. Isn't that nice? So that's multiplication, and then we'll also be doing addition and simplification. That's a private method because we don't want the user to be able to call simplify. It's just for us when we're working on other things. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. The data that's inside every rational number is a numerator and a denominator. That's what it means to be a rational number, right? So that's the .h file, and you're going to implement all that stuff in rationals.cpp. Okay? So the one new thing, you're going to copy over everything else, but the one new thing is maybe the constructor to set the numerator and the denominator and also simplify. So it's going to be very similar, but it's just kind of different because it's a constructor. It doesn't return anything. It's not even a void function. It's weird. And then this is essentially exactly the same. toPretty string operator star. That's multiplication. Still the same thing, but you just have to return a rational number, remember. So remember to do that. And then plus is the new thing. Here's GCD again, and simplify will be also very, very similar. You're going to update your member variables inside of this. So remember you have numer and denom to work on and reset. You don't need any parameters because they're part of your class. They're part of your object that you're working inside of, yeah? So that's that. Yeah, really the only real new thing is operator plus, which, oops, adding the current object with the other. This is what you do. Okay, so you're going to have your current object, maybe that's your numer over denom, and then you're going to have the other object. Okay, that's other.numer, other.denom, right? Because every rational number has a numer and a denominator. You now need to go and find the new stuff. You need to give back a new rational number that is the sum of those to your current object. That can be this one. And then the other object, that can be this one. Remember what it's like to do that? You have to do AD plus BC over BD. Isn't that fun? So just remember that, and you should be home free. All you have to do is give back a new rational number with those correct numerator and denominator, because the constructor, dun dun dun, the constructor is going to call simplify for you. So you don't have to worry about simplifying whatever this big mess is over here on the right side of this equality. that's going to get simplified for you through the magic of the constructor. Okay, so yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about for this file. Implement the constructor, copy and paste that, implement this. It'll be very similar to star, and then simplify will be essentially copying and pasting what you've done before. Okay, so I think that is all I wanted to say for that, and then let's go to test.cpp, because that's what we're going to use to figure out if we're doing it right. Okay, so I made some tests for you, and you'll compile it, and you can run it with just /test, and here's what it should look like, all those passing, right? So that's quite nice. Once you get those to pass, then it's your turn to write some tests of your own, because more tests mean you can be even more confident about your program. Okay, so I want you to write 2 more tests in the same style. You can just copy and paste the ones that you made last time, but you'll have to fix them slightly for the new class-based stuff. But yeah, just add 2 tests here, make them call assert true once inside of them, and that'll be your lab. Okay, so you can use all this as a reference. You can use your test that you made last time as a reference. It should all work out. Okay, so yeah, just get those at the end of the main function, get those to pass, and then you're ready to turn in your assignment. Okay, so then you'll turn it in as usual. You will give me the rationals.cpp as well as the test.cpp, because those are the 2 files that you changed. Okay, I have my own version of rationals.h. All right, so yeah, I think that's all. Here's the rubric, and that should do it. So please yell at me if you have any questions. That's all I got for you. Good luck on this, and I will see you next week.